Welcome to the Crystal Water Experience podcast with me, Dr. Jo Whitaker, and Kelly Heinsohn's here today. And we're going to be talking about the quantum nature of healing in the Bosnian pyramids, which also relates to the work we've been doing and trying to fit this stuff together. So welcome, Kelly. We don't often do this together, but we're going to try and do one every week, right?
We are, and thank you very much, Jo. It's nice to be here. I'm used to just hearing your voice on the podcast, listening in on the way to work. So now it'd be nice to listen to mine as well.
It would be good, wouldn't it? But we've experienced quite a lot over the last few weeks in terms of quantum healing, in terms of our downloads and information, and people coming to us about the quantum nature of healing. So we thought we'd bring that aspect in because I did a brilliant interview with Dr. Sam on Friday about the healing properties of the Bosnian pyramids. And this very much mirrors our work. And we've got, for those people watching on YouTube, you're going to be able to see an amazing video. For those of you listening on the podcast, we'll describe it to you, but go and watch the video because seeing is believing. So we'll start with the reason why we kicked off and decided what we're going to talk about today is you said that whilst using our quantum healing tool, which we've got, which is like the quantum water charges, which have got quantum frequencies in, and we've got one called Comfort and Ease. You were using it the other day and something amazing happened. And I wondered if you could share that.
I will. And you haven't heard this story yet, so it's the first time for you as well. So I was at work last night and I had the most horrendous acid reflux heartburn. I've never had it that bad before, ever. So, to the point where you feel sick, it was right in my neck. I thought, how am I going to get through this shift? So I had some Comfort and Ease in a little bottle, which I'll show you. See my blur there. So for the people that aren't listening on YouTube, on YouTube, I'm just showing a bottle. It's got one of our quantum frequency water chargers in it. It's just got a bottle with water.
So let's just describe this because a lot of people don't understand this. The sticker itself is charged. And what we mean by quantum is that it's small. And if you were to hold the sticker and you were very energy sensitive, which a lot of people who come to our shows and events are, it would be vibrating at a frequency. And I don't mean a fixed frequency like 528 hertz, where it's just the same frequency. If there's a frequency code, so imagine quantum frequency trace technology like Morse code. So it's actually programming your biofield. So when we add that sticker to water, and the reason why we've got a spray bottle is because basically it's easier to carry this around, then the water inside vibrates at that frequency with that Morse code inside it.
That's a very good explanation. Yeah, so I just sprayed this in my mouth and then on my neck. And I'm not joking, it was instantaneous, took the acid heartburn away. So I kept doing it on the way home. So I had to do it for about 3 or 4 times to keep it away. And it completely went. Didn't have to have any kind of indigestion, Rennies or milk or anything like that. It's gone and stayed away.
You've got Rennie tablets in your car for emergencies.
I have. I didn't have to have any. That's it.
But if you think about what acid reflux is, it's an imbalance in your system. And when you think about what acid is and its potential hydrogen, there's too much of a particular type of vortex field being created. And we are able to change the spin of that. And the way that we describe it is anything disharmonious with your body. Well, it is a bit like when you're on the bumper cars and it's going around, everyone's going around in a circle, something disharmonious is going the other way round and causing a problem. And so what our technology does is it is like the guy that comes out in the bumper cars, stands on the nefarious car going the wrong way and stops it and spins it and makes it go the right way round. So it isn't necessarily the thing itself. It's the charge that causes disruption in our fields, and we can see it physically.
I absolutely love that explanation. I really do. And it makes it really visual. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. And it's not come back since. And we can use this not just on acid reflux, but any aches or pains, joint aches, period pains, and it takes that pain away. And we're not saying it with everything. And I'm not saying with every person's acid reflux is going to work, but for mine, and for a lot of our customers, it helps with the aches and pains. And I think actually we had another piece of feedback quite some time ago about it working on someone else's acid reflux, and that's what they use now, if you remember.
I mean, obviously, guys, this is dealing with the symptoms. If you're going to put stuff in your stomach and you haven't got a healed gut, or you've got stress or whatever it was that caused it, you probably need to stop doing that because you don't want to keep fixing things. But there's no medication in this. So your body doesn't have to deal with a load of toxins. It'll fix you for now, and then you can get on with whatever it is, chill out. But I mean, because that's the thing, when you've got this acid reflux or you've got a headache or toothache, which this is really good for, you can't concentrate on anything but the negative. Your brain goes into shutdown mode.
That's absolutely right. Pain is one thing on its own, isn't it? And that's the only thing you think about, which then breeds more of it. So at least with this, you get that bit of relief to then be able to sort the root cause. So that, yeah.
Great.
Really.
And how did you, while you were going through your treatment with all of the chemotherapy or the plasma exchange stuff, by the way, guys, you can get this story for free if you go to our standard plan. You get the module 1, and Kelly will explain all of this. You really had to go through excruciatingly painful procedures. How did you cope with that? Because this was before you discovered the power of the water.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I've naturally always been very optimistic and knowing things are going to be okay. So that was massively, massively helped. But also, happiness and joy is such a big thing. That is a painkiller in itself. Watching my kids doing what they were doing, seeing them happy, but also being in my back garden and grounding to as much as I can do in a back garden. The power of the mind is so amazing, Joe. That's all I can say. So I didn't really take many painkillers. It was all about, I can do this. It's going to be fine. Wherever the pain was, I just used to see it like melting away. And I didn't know any of the stuff that I know now, but it was my own kind of knowledge being unlocked just in a more gentle way without me realizing it. Because imagine if it just gave me all this knowledge all in one big ball, like boom, I think I'd have gone absolutely mad. So it was gently, gently, we are in control. And the power of the mind, it's absolutely everything.
And for those people in chronic pain, you're not supposed to be in chronic pain. There's a root cause. So you shouldn't be having to mentally fix yourself every minute of every day for years. There's something that needs to happen to shift that. And if whatever you're doing now isn't shifting that, I mean, the doctors will just give you more medication. That's what they do. But that isn't the solution. Then you need to be able to work on the solution when you've got that space to be able to do it, that headspace to be able to think clearly. So you went through a remarkable transformation. And I bet you wish now you would have had the comfort and ease to be able to help you through that process.
Oh my gosh, I would have. This would have been a gold to me at that time, just to be able to just spray a bit of water on me to be able to ease the pain in my legs and knees and everywhere else that was hurting. I would have bathed in it every day. And that's the thing with this, you only have to spray a little bit of water in a whole bath to make it a healing cocoon, which I think is amazing. And we've done this many times and trialed it with people with fibromyalgia and things like that. And it's always worked. It's never not worked, which is to have 100% success rate with that illness, because fibromyalgia is very hard to explain, isn't it? And it shows up in many different areas of the body. But just to be able to get in a bath, squirt, squirt, and lie there and come out feeling 50% better than you did before is like next level.
Yeah. So just remind everybody about what our rubbish business model is, just before we move on.
Oh, it's a rubbish business model because you don't have to, you buy one either on a bottle or not, and then you never have to buy one again. You just top up the water, and then the water resonates at the frequency of the sticker and then turns into the, you know, the pain relief frequency water that we use. Yeah. In my parents' house, actually, they've got one stuck inside of the bath because these are really high quality sticker. They can stick inside water. So obviously you don't put it in when the water's in, but you put it on the outside of the bath and it's still there. It's been there for, you know, about a year now. So that is a resonant healing chamber in itself.
Exactly. So that's the thing to explain to people. So you can imagine People say, how can a sticker work? Well, you can't see that it's vibrating, but it is. And when you then stick it to whatever you're sticking it to, that object then vibrates.
That's it.
And
It's a
then
bit
when
like the unseen cymatics, isn't it? Cymatics that you just can't see.
cymatics, and I'm
Because it's
hoping to have John Stuart Reid on to talk about cymatics, and maybe there's some work we can do together to be able to try and visualize this stuff. But the thing is, if you're thinking this is too good to be true, then that's absolutely fine. Why don't you come to one of our live events? Because we always do a demonstration. And actually, it's really surprised me, Kel, that whenever we say, right, we want 2 or 3 volunteers who have some pain at the moment, we're going to squirt some on and then they have to report back. And by the way, we always get fantastic success.
every
I mean,
time.
quite often it's healed like all the way, or at least pain's gone all the way, sorry. But often it's a little bit or enough or a significant difference. That is our kind of experience. But what I found is every single show we've been to recently, about a third of the audience say that they're currently in pain.
Yes, I've noticed that too. And I think at the last one, we had a queue of people. And yeah, so everyone seems to be in pain. Back pain is very, very popular right now. Seems to be the popular guy in town because everyone in that, the last one that we did had back pain. Everyone that queued up.
I remember.
At least 50% of the whole audience. So
It's usually like neck, I did a couple
neck
of
as
feet,
well, yes.
neck, feet, legs. And don't you think it's weird that we're living in an environment where this is normalized?
Exactly.
Oh,
What is going wrong? What frequency is being emitted for this to keep being a thing?
yeah. And when people don't talk to each other, they just think they're the only ones. I
Yeah.
think we see it because we ask for volunteers and we have to say, wait a minute, this is the first part of the demonstrations because we do this whole series of demonstrations live on stage. And if we charge everybody up at the beginning, then,
Yeah.
then we can't do the demonstration. But at the end, we do everybody, but
Mhm.
it's also really important to keep these experiments going. And that's just one of the experiments that we do. So the quantum water charges, for those people on YouTube, you will find them at crystalwaterexperience.com. You can either do a search in the kind of search box, or you can just look at the EMF protection products because they also protect you from EMF. Because this is all about balanced frequencies in your body. And when you're out of harmony, this is where you experience the pains, basically. So this fixes that at the same time. So you just go to there and you can go to the quantum water charger and you can just see those on there. I'll just quickly share my screen for those people on YouTube. There's people who aren't on YouTube at the moment. Why don't you just have a nice little relax, listen to my voice. Have a little meditation, have a think about your back, have a think about if you need any of this. But this is working on the quantum level and you can just see where they are. Just wanted to make that easy for people to see.
Yeah. So just remind everyone of the website, Joe.
So it's crystalwaterexperience.com and
Yeah.
you go to the shop and you look for EMF products. When you want to look at the events, we've got 2 different types of events. We've got live workshops, which basically we've put together. And next ones are this Saturday in Birmingham. We're back in Birmingham. It's a limited space, this is. So you need to get tickets like in the next day or 2. And then the next one is in the New Forest, December the 15th. So it's either October, November the 15th, or the New Forest demonstrations.
Yeah.
And I can absolutely guarantee you the show that we bring, nobody else is doing this. It is totally different. Of course, we explain the background of how we've got where we are. And we talk about Dr. Emoto with Vader Austin and various other pioneers in this area. But we go way beyond that. And I think the thing is the live demonstration really cements all the things that we do. And if we get time, we always do the chairlift demonstration, the levitation experiment, which is always popular, right, Cal?
It's always popular. And the way you explain it, because a lot of people have seen that chairlift through childhood and don't understand how it works. But the way that you break it down to explain it, people are like, yes, that's it. And it makes complete sense. I always love doing that. And we always try and get the heaviest guy in the room, don't we? And the ladies to lift him. And It's the faces of people. I just love it every time. However many times we've done it, I never get bored.
Never get bored of it. And then we've
No.
got our up and coming appearances where we have been asked to speak at other people's events. We have the wellness journey in London with, oh no, sorry, we've got
No,
wellness journey. Sorry, that's a little secret we're going to tell you. So we've got Wolverhampton. We're going to be with Ranjita. This event is from 10 till 5. It's an all-day event. And there's so many things to try. There's so many therapists. There's a mixture between kind of talks and experiences. So there's Qigong, there's what we do. There is so many things to participate in. And it's a really good price, isn't it?
It's a really good price. I think it's £25 or something for the whole day. And you get to experience so many different businesses. There's
handmade products, all that kind of stuff.
So £25, £27.80 on Eventbrite.
On that one, yeah. So
it's
really, I think this is an absolute bargain. This one, really.
It really is.
And then the next one, which we haven't put on yet, which we will be speaking to Philly about, which is Philly J. will be down in London in November for the Wellbeing Hub there. So we're really looking forward to that. There are some incredible.
On the 27th of November.
27th.
At the College of Naturopathic Medicine.
Fantastic. So this is I think this is the third or fourth event that she's done of these.
Second, I think.
She's done a festival and everything this year as well.
Yeah, that's it. She's been very busy.
So they're always very popular, amazing speakers, amazing demonstrations. Get yourself down to London, very advanced speakers and information there at that event. And then our big one next year, which is what I wanted to move on to because I've got like a picture in the background here, is next year we've been invited to speak on the Bosnian Pyramid Conference and Tour by Dr. Sam Osmanagic. This is just such an amazing event and opportunity. Crystal water experience for a show like. Oh, actually, I might just play this just while we're here. Explain the quantum nature of our. That's a chairlift. Organized crystals, water, structured water, pyramids, and all the things you found interesting, but have never seen a live demonstration showing you how all this works. I teach you how to detox yourself from parasites and heavy metals in a very easy 5-step process. Live kinesiology tests to show you how your mobile phone and your smartwatch might be affecting you and how you can do something about it. We teach you how to find out if the sticker on your mobile phone is actually protecting you. 5G, earbuds, gaming devices. What can you do about these things disrupting our biofield? We have an invention from the UK and we're going to talk to you about that. Can you see how much I'm glowing? Well, that's my life force energy. We're about magnifying your life force energy, making you healthier. And we're going to explain how that works and how you can do it too. We have invented a new generation of organ generators and this amplifies the life force energy in you. Look around at all the structures today. If you know about Tartaria, Egyptian pyramids, do you know also that churchyards, cenotaphs and other structures are shaping the reality around us? Ley lines are not just from the past, they're here and working now, and we explain how. Find out more at crystalwaterexperience.com and we look for. There you go. I thought that was worth doing, Kel, because I think.
Absolutely amazing.
I just displayed it all there, didn't I? And so we're going to be doing these. This is what we do in our live demonstrations. When we go to the Bosnian pyramids next year, we're going to bring all of our science experiments that we've been doing over the last year. I did an interview with Dr. Sam on Friday, but just to let you know just a little bit about that. If you're going from the UK, it's good to get your tickets now. In fact, Kel, I was going to say we're going to need to book our flights today because it's really cheap to go. It's like 150 quid or less to fly if you book now. It goes from Stansted and directly, and it goes a couple of days a week. Once that plane's full, that's it. Don't put on extra flights. And then you have to get an indirect flight, and it's longer and it costs more money. But to stay there is relatively inexpensive. So I would advise anybody to go to Bosnia anytime, actually, because it's open 365 days a year. And it's one of these places where in the winter, it's winter. In the spring, it's spring. In the summer, it's summer. Autumn, it's autumn. And the environment there is so healing, which is what we're just going to talk about. But Billy Carson's going to be there, Michael Cremo, Brad Olson, just to name a few of the doctors that are going to be there. We want to talk a little bit more about the Bosnian pyramids now in terms of quantum healing, but just let you know, you can go to our website, look at our up and coming appearances, and you find the brochure there, and it tells you all about it. So this is the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. And as Dr. Sam was explaining on Friday, they've excavated 3 kilometers out of a possible around 100 kilometers of tunnels. And they are incredibly healing. And he gave 10 reasons why they were healing. And this is because it is right in the middle of the earth. And the frequencies that are in that place are very healing, including also parts of the infrared spectrum. So we know about near infrared light. We know about frequencies heal us. It's a cocoon away from outside influence, like your mobile phone doesn't work in there, Wi-Fi doesn't work in there. I'm really excited for you to experience this, Kel, because you talk about your story about burying the man in the forest and creating an energy sandwich. This is the ultimate quantum healing machine, earth healing energy sandwich.
I can't wait. When I was listening to the podcast that you did with Dr. Sam yesterday, I was actually doing a little dance in my car as I was driving, because I can't wait to experience it. And he did say something about like it being one of the only places now that has no other fake positive charge frequency around there. So our bodies can't ever get away from all these frequencies. And I remember you said something once to me, and it really stuck with me actually, and this will stick with the audience. Just because you're not listening to Radio 1 at the minute, Radio 1 is going through your body. Every radio station and every frequency is penetrating through our body all the time that we just can't see it. So to be able to be in a place where nothing is penetrating us apart from the negative healing ions in the ground is going to be absolutely fantastic. So I can't wait.
Yeah. And this is why you know that it's something special, because the deeper you go in, the easier it is to breathe. It's full of oxygen. Whereas Dr. Sam says, if you go down a coal mine, you only have to go like about 20 meters in, and that's it. You can't breathe. You need breathing apparatus. There's something absolutely special about this place. It's not expensive to go to. We encourage people to go to the conference because meeting the people, spending 24 hours a day with these people over 10 days, you will be with the best scientists in the world on pyramids and this kind of technology. So it's an absolute experience. But if you can't make it to the conference, absolutely go and experience this place because it's next level. When we talk about healing, we're not just talking about physical healing, and they're bringing out some papers now on the physical healing properties, but it's also very spiritually, emotionally healing, because you're able to, in that space, you're able to let things go and grow. It's a very connected place. Leo calls it the womb of the earth.
Wow.
The womb of the earth. And then when you look at that pyramid, it is pointing up to the sky. So it is really the combination, bringing that negative charge and positive charge together and creating a massive. And by the way, there isn't just this pyramid here. It's a whole complex, and the whole of Bosnia and probably many other places in the world, this is there. So, Kel, when you were listening to Dr. Sam yesterday, in terms of what he was saying about being away from EMF radiation and things like that, can you talk a bit about your meditation practices and how important you found it to escape from what's around and be connected to nature?
Yeah, being connected to nature is the most important thing. And it's where the stillness and our gifts truly lie. It's the door. It's like the unlocking of the door to be able to get to the place where all our answers are. When I found out that I could do what I do, I was sitting inside nature. I'll just give you a little brief little explanation. I was just sitting with my back against a tree, and I had a pen in my hand, and these drawings and frequencies started to come through. It obviously took me a long time to realize what they actually were, but what it was, nature coming through me, giving me a frequency to be like, say, hi, we're here, see us. And being able to be in that stillness space then starts to unlock the door to our expanded consciousness. And I will talk more about this on our level 2 course that's just being produced now. But yeah, that is a kind of brief overview of how to get there and how to not use nature, but to be with nature, just to sit there, hear the noises, feel the leaves, feel the bark, listen to the heartbeat, and tune your heartbeat in with nature. You can do it. It sounds like completely woo-woo, but when you are in that space, it happens. I don't know if you've experienced anything like that.
Yeah, thank you for that explanation. I think it's a really important and a beautiful explanation, because what I'm seeing in New Age spirituality is a lot of listening to what I call dingy dongy music, which is very pleasant, but it often takes you out of your body and it doesn't connect you into your body,
That's right.
especially because a lot of this frequency music isn't tuned to your body's harmonic. A lot of it is tuned to 440 hertz, which is out of alignment with your own body. And so, therefore, what people are experiencing is they're either going to other places or they're connecting to the false matrix grid that's here, the information grid. And to them, it feels like an experience, because it is an experience. I don't say it doesn't exist, but that isn't the true nature of who you are.
That's
And
it.
listening to Bluetooth headsets, it is all the time. You
Exactly.
must listen to through a Bluetooth headset to be able to connect to this, whatever it is, guided meditation. So they fundamentally don't understand the quantum mechanics of the world we exist in to do this.
Exactly. I actually saw something online a couple of days ago, and it was a meditation session, but a silent one, which makes sense, right? But they had Bluetooth headphones on and lying in a meditation all together. It looked horrible, not gonna lie. It looked horrible. There was all these blue, and it was glowing blue. No, they were glowing red, these things. Everyone was lying down all together, headphones on with eye masks. I
Yeah,
have no idea what you're doing.
and
And
this,
the person who's probably leading it has no idea, because
don't know.
that's great. It's like technology is great, this, but you are connected to an absolute different grid. You've got Bluetooth penetrating through the brain at the same time. They have to meet, don't they? So it's got to go through the brain for them to work. I just think the old knowledge needs to be brought back. And that's what we're all about, isn't it, Joe? We're all about bringing the old knowledge, the knowledge that's been waiting to be unlocked. And it all is to do with nature. Get your butt into nature, sit there without your bloody phone, and put it on aeroplane mode, leave it in the car, whatever, and just sit there with the tree. And you will become more energy sensitive. It takes a while, but you can literally sit with your back on a tree and intentionally say you want to sync your heartbeat with the tree, and you can feel it. It's like, imagine this noise going whoom, whoom, whoom. You can feel it going up and down your spine. And once you're in that space, you don't want to leave. You do not want to leave, because that is resonating with our true organic self.
That's beautifully said. And in our environment, you have to practice because it's harder. When you go
Do
to the Bosnian pyramid, this is what's unlocked things in me, because I was like, this is what everybody was talking about, because it's so easy to connect, because
yeah.
it's so easy to be outside of all of that influence. And I think a lot of all this kind of new age stuff and all these kind of programs are just getting you to buy stuff, buy these fantastic headphones, buy this guided meditation. And they're not really teaching people how to do it themselves.
That's it.
And it's because that's how they've been taught, but they're missing this fundamental knowledge. It's a lot easier than we're being told that it is. This stuff isn't difficult, but there's a few things you need to be aware of. And one of them is to stay away from technology as far away as you can. The real connection, the real meditation is within you. You can, listen, when we hear people all the time, right? You can connect to our external things, but that's going to show you very interesting, vivid kind of visions or things like that. But at this stage of the game, with the change of the earth, that isn't where you want to be. You want to be anchored right in here, because what's happening here is way more exciting. It just sounds more boring because I'm not telling people to buy $5,000 headphone sets. And we're not pushing these expensive monthly subscription because it's going to elevate you. It is definitely going to elevate you. It's going to take you somewhere else. It's not going to do anything for you long term.
Because
So
you're never reaching it inside the self. And just with a little tip with meditation, I know that everyone can't be deep down in the forest every single day meditating. Get yourself some earplugs and lie in your bed in silence. because there's always some dog barking or some rustling around in the house. So if you get yourself an earplug, just lie in your bed. You can bring some tree bark home with you or something, and intentionally connect to a particular tree, put it on your chest, and you will quantumly connect into nature that way. I do that every day. So that's really good, a really good tip.
And one more plug of our products, Kel, is because you've had this amazing journey and this amazing knowledge. And we were realizing that to be embedded into nature, into this very, very deep within this healing sphere frequencies of the earth is very difficult in our environment. So how can we bring that into our bodies? And we talk about this story, and we won't go into the whole story here because we'll probably do another whole podcast on this. But basically, through lots of trial and error, you've got stronger and stronger method of creating devices that you wear yourself. I've got one on now. It's absolutely tiny, but it's absolutely the most powerful pendant attachment you can buy. And if there are other companies listening to this and they say, well, how about ours? How about ours? Please get in touch, because we want to collaborate with you. We want to get in touch, because what we have noticed is that in these kind of pendants that are out there, there's elements of what we've got in. Like, it might have a particular geometry, it might have a frequency, it might have a bit of both. But I think the combination of quantum frequency technology, not the higher bandwidths like 5 to 8 hertz, so this quantum frequency, the earth elements, the precious metals, the quartz crystal, and the water all together makes a very, very powerful device. And it's only since I've been wearing this, Kel, that I've been telling you this for the last few months since I've been wearing this, I can feel my body vibrate.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to do that before. And when I'm lying in bed just before I wake up or go to sleep, I love sitting there feeling, oh, whoa, because it feels amazing.
It does, doesn't it? It's like that internal vibration. And until you've experienced it, it's very hard to explain. It's like your insides are moving, isn't it? It's like that. And then you feel that whum, whum, whum. Because that's the frequency, it's the frequency that it's giving. And you're going to put it on the screen.
I'm going to put it on the screen now. And we actually measured it, was it last week or the week before? Because I said, I know that it's faster than my heart rate. I don't know what it is. And so it took us ages to try and figure it out, because I was timing it going, I was tapping it out going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, so we did this little experiment, didn't we? We were trying to figure this out. And at the end, I got to a number and I've worked it out. It says, right, it's 132 cycles per minute. I didn't know anything about 132 hertz, did I? And
No.
it's actually the note C. It is incredibly healing. This is like one of the fundamental frequencies of healing that our body has. It's like one of the underlying frequencies that it's incredibly harmonious and beneficial to the body. And it's about integration of higher light frequencies into your body, like integration from your DNA into your body, from the light of your DNA in. There's no possible way I could know that. So all of that messing around with a timer for however long we did it for was well worthwhile. And it is, I mean, that frequency has always been there. It's just very, very strong now, because I'm now very connected. So this is what we were just talking about. And the interesting thing about this is the video, which, so sorry for the people on the website. You can find them. They're called Terra Crista Life Force Energizers, and they're in the jewelry section. And in this video, actually, I'm just going to stop a minute, just kind of showing people where they are. They're very, very tiny. Why don't you talk about why you made them so tiny, Kel? Because they're small but mighty, right?
Yeah, they're small but mighty. You don't need a lot of the ingredients, and we're very transparent with what's in there, and you can read them for yourself. I'm not going to read it out now, but you can read them for yourself on crystalwaterexperience.com. And I made some bigger ones. This has been going on quite a few years now, about 6 years in the making. They were like very big and clunky. And I thought that was great, because I was like really heavy in the spiritual community. And I thought that big jewelry, big crystals was the thing. Not really stepping into someone else's awareness of, I don't want to wear a big chunky pendant like that. My kids wouldn't wear one. My mum wouldn't wear one. She was just like, I just don't like them, but I know what they do. I'll sleep with it under my pillow. So I thought, I've got to have a better and more versatile and more aesthetically pleasing piece of jewelry. So when I actually show people my pendant, I'll talk about the pendant, how powerful it is, this and this. I'll go, I'm wearing it now. And I'll show them. They're like, oh my God, that's tiny. I said, that's not going to offend anybody, is it? No, that's beautiful. So my kids have them now, quite happily, wear them every day. They don't take them off. My parents have them. And the only thing we have said actually says, can you make a more male one?
Yeah.
So I am working on making a more male one. I've had a few ideas about that, but that's the reason why they're so small. But I realize that they don't have to be big, because the ingredients of quantum frequency trace technology and all the other bits of frequencies that we have, we don't need lots of it. You know, it amplifies it by all the ingredients together, layered in a particular way, which is really important.
Absolutely brilliant. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you will see the evidence of this on the Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon. So I'm on the Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon, and this is Jesper, who's going to be speaking at the conference next year. And he's measuring frequencies around the different places in the Bosnian pyramids. And he was doing an experiment live on there. And it's quite interesting. I don't think I've showed Jesper this video, but I'm going to show him next year, that this was his second year taking these readings. He wasn't getting much of a signal, so he was trying different ways to measure this signal. But after we arrived, he started measuring a signal. Now, this signal wasn't in a kind of repetitive pattern, which showed it wasn't a resonant frequency of the land. It had information in. So I'll let Yes disclose that. But if you have a look at the Terra Crista and my frequency and look how much I resonate with this place, you can see my life force energy. Now, obviously, it's quite a bright day, and everyone's got a little bit of a, well, because obviously I've magnified it, etc. But there's quite a few pictures of me over the, I don't know, it was half an hour. And in all of them, even the photos, I am literally glowing bright blue.
Yeah, you really are growing blue.
And this is because I'm resonating with this place, because my frequency is so, so strong. So you can see from the Curlian photography, it's really the blue color. Everyone else has got a little bit of a white glow and things like that. I mean, that's just like massively blue. So it's definitely doing something, and we're going to bring that knowledge and explain it to the scientists there at the Bosnian Pyramid. And we really want to try and measure this stuff in other ways. We've done a lot of measurements. We've done a lot of plant growing experiments and things like this, but we'd really love some instruments as well. So we're going to be working on that over the next year and meet all those to talk about this, because that's a brilliant anomaly.
Absolutely.
So how shall we finish this off? What is your advice for anybody listening to this and what we've said about today?
My piece of advice would be, find some time every day to be without technology and completely switch off. If a back garden's the only place that you can go to, great. Or if you can, find some time to go into the forest and just be, because it's honestly life-changing.
Thank you so much. My
Bye-bye.
last piece, thank you. My last piece of advice is to come and see us at one of our live events, because when you see this woman who was supposed to be dead like about 9 years ago, you will realize that there is more going on this planet than physical supplements. And everything is energy, everything is frequency. And as the disclosures are coming forward about what's going on in the world, so are the disclosures about how our bodies work and how we work with the earth. We're remembering all of that. And me and Kel would love to teach you more about that, on how you can be the highest version of yourself, the healthiest, wealthiest, happiest, fittest person that you can possibly be. So thank you very much for listening, everybody, to the Crystal Water Experience podcast with Kelly.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's been nice to be here, actually, Jo. Thank you.
And every week we're going to bring on a different guest, and we're going to talk about all topics related to this stuff that you probably haven't heard too much about, but we're going to bring it to the light so you can learn all about these different things that are going on in the world to make the world a better place, because we're living in New Earth. So I'm going to bring on experts on these things so that you can learn all about this stuff and hopefully be the best version you can be. So thank you very much, and join us next week on the Crystal Water Experience podcast.